In our cloud-native world, digital trust is the ultimate currency. Digital trust happens when customers know their data is safe, secure, and handled with care. But trust isn't given, it's earned. SUSE is your partner in this mission. Together we safeguard critical data by anticipating threats, integrating security across all environments, and using automation to fill any gaps, all while leaving open space for innovation. With SUSE, protect against security threats at every layer, from core to cloud to edge. Concerned about regulatory compliance? We are compliance experts. Our streamlined features empower you to stay current and covered. We not only strengthen your security, we innovate alongside you, advancing digital trust with every step forward. Secure your business. Build digital trust. With SUSE, you're not just responding to the digital world, you're defining it.
Hey everybody! Last time I did a demo, I showcased how I'd implemented simple multi-factor authentication using the device authorization grant. Today I'm excited to demonstrate the latest progress with regular MFA using authentication codes and other Azure MFA mechanisms. Before we dive into the demo though, let me walk you through the setup process. I've already configured PAM, NSS, and the Himlblau.conf to enable authentication in our Linux environment. Let me show you how I've done that. First, I've configured PAM for auth, session, and account, as you can see here. Next, let's look at our NSS switch. I've configured that to first hit compat, then systemd, and then Himmelblau. Finally, I configured my Himmelblau.conf. There are two requirements. Everything else is optional. You must set the domain section to authorize a domain to be authenticated to, and then you must allow specific users or groups to authenticate to the host. In this case, I've set my primary user and an administrative user to have access to this host. It's also important to stop and disable the NSCD service, like so. Finally, and maybe most importantly, we need to enable and start the Himmelblau service. With this configuration in place, we're ready to demonstrate MFA on Himmelblau. Now, there's no join required. Technically there is, but it'll happen during the authentication process, and I'll show you that. Here I have the GDM login screen on my OpenSUSE Tumbleweed box. First, let's start by logging into our system using one of our Azure users. Notice that this is one of the users I authorized in my Himmelblau.conf file. First, I'll authenticate with my password. And now it's prompting me to enter an MFA code from my Authenticator app, which I'll enter now. And what you're not seeing in the background is that the device just joined the Azure domain. We can lock the screen if we want, and it'll have us authenticate with our password to unlock the screen. Let me show you the terminal again. And here you see the logs from our authentication attempt. You can see that this log message mentions that we joined the domain, and there's my domain that I authorized in the Himmelblau.conf file. And we were given a device ID, and then we successfully authenticated. In the background, what happened is that we authenticated to the enrollment service, we joined the device to the domain, and then we used that same authentication token and passed it and requested a primary refresh token, and used our primary refresh token to request an access token to authenticate to the device. If we jump quickly to our Azure portal, and if we list the devices enrolled in the domain, we'll see that that device was added when we authenticated. If we click here, you'll notice that the device ID matches the one from our logs. And that's just a glimpse of what's been accomplished so far. I'm working on integrating Windows Hello PIN logins to further streamline the authentication process. Stay tuned for more updates from the Himmelblau project.